Okay, let's get into this. When you're looking up, say, a product review online,
Yeah.
maybe for some kind of performance formula, and the review you find just, well, completely contradicts itself.
Yeah, what do you even do with that?
Exactly. When the source that's supposed to help you decide just leaves you more confused, how do you find any truth?
Well, that exact paradox is what we're looking at today. We did a deep dive into a source from the YouTube channel HOA Horror. They were analyzing an online site selling something called Iron Pure Male Performance Advanced Formula.
Right.
And they specifically promised an unbiased review. Our mission here isn't really about judging that specific product.
Right.
It's about looking at the structure of how they assess legitimacy. How did they even do the review?
Yeah, we want to figure out why a source that seems to set itself up as definitive, using what looks like solid data, why it ends up basically just tossing the final decision right back to you, the person watching. So let's talk about their method. The reviewer claims it's pretty thorough. Sounds impressive, right?
Yeah, they say they check 40 different technical things, hidden content details,
40 elements. Wow.
like website hosting location, which, okay, that can matter, right? If servers are somewhere with weak consumer loss.
Yeah, that could be a red flag.
And they check the technology being used, even how popular the site is. It gives this illusion of being super rigorous, trying to make you feel confident.
And after all that, all those 40 checks, the deep forensic dive, it all boiled down to one number for the audience. They gave the site a trust score of 46% out of 100.
Hold on. 46%. I mean, that's a failing grade pretty much everywhere else, isn't it?
You'd certainly think so.
That sounds like an immediate runaway signal. But the source, the review itself, calls that 46% score good.
Exactly. Explicitly labels it good.
How? Doesn't that one word just torpedo the credibility of their whole 40-point check? If 46 is good, what on earth is bad?
It throws their whole grading system into question. Absolutely. I mean, what's the scale here? And there was another weird bit. They mentioned the server ran smoothly. Now, logically, that should be a plus, right? A point for legitimacy.
Yeah, a stable site usually means something.
But they only concluded this meant the site might be a average website. Just average. The inputs and outputs just don't line up.
It feels less like analysis and more like random number generation followed by a shrug.
Pretty much. It becomes more about their shaky model than the site itself.
So after all this contradictory stuff, smooth server, 40 checks, a good 46% was the final verdict. The big conclusion from this unbiased review.
Ah, well, this is the kicker.
Lay it on me.
It was completely non-committal. They stated the website appears to be a scam or legit website.
Wait, scam or legit? Are you kidding me?
Nope, that was the conclusion.
So why bother with the 40 checks? Why give a score? Why do any of it just to land on? Maybe. It says absolutely nothing useful.
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is the sort of psychological move here. You could call it algorithmic abdication.
Algorithmic abdication. Explain that.
They use all this detailed data, the 40 points, the score, to create this veneer of rigor, makes it look scientific. But then when it's time to actually make a call, they sidestep the responsibility. They shift the hard work, the actual judgment, back onto the viewer.
So the data's just for show.
Largely, yeah. Because their final piece of advice, after all that data crunching, it was for the viewer to make a right conclusion on the basis of mind research.
On the basis of mind research. So think for yourself.
Basically, yes, we did all this work, now you figure it out.
They invested the time, showed the numbers, promised clarity.
Yeah.
But couldn't stick the landing. They just handed the decision back. So the key takeaway here is seeing that delegation, that passing the buck, is often how flawed analysis tries to save face.
Precisely. The source wanted to be this unbiased guide to trust, but ended up giving data points, like calling 46% good, that just muddy the waters even more. It doesn't clarify. It complicates. The whole system just kind of implodes.
Right. So what's the lesson here for you listening? It's not just that the 46% score was weird, though it was. It's that data, even lots of it, without any actual conviction behind it, it's pretty much worthless. So next time you see a detailed review, a trust score, maybe look past the numbers for a second. Look at the reviewer's final stance. Because if they can't make a clear call after checking 40 factors, well, how are you supposed to prioritize which data points actually matter when you make your own decision? What does a genuinely average or trustworthy source even look like then?